Alright, so I told you guys I would occasionally deal out some random life advice. So here's video number 1 of useless information. Actually, hopefully it's useful. But anyway, how to ace an interview. It still boggles my mind that people don't know this stuff. And I can really thank my mom for the fact that my sisters and I have never failed an interview. That's not a challenge to future employers. Don't fail me. Here's how this goes. First of all, don't just turn in an application online. Don't just drop it off at the store. Find a manager. Look them in the eyes. I mean, don't do the creepy I'm staring at you and making eye contact thing. But make eye contact, shake their hand, firm handshake. Make sure that you leave an impression. I know that when I've managed before, I would 10 million times rather hire someone I've actually met face to face or book them for an interview than someone that turned in an application online and has a great resume, but I might get a really weird vibe from them in person. So always show up. Always drop off your freaking resume or whatever it is in person and try to find the manager. If they're not there that day, come back and be like, hey, I dropped my resume off 3 days ago or a week ago. Second, identify with them. Even when someone is interviewing you or considering you for a position, making a connection with them is super important. This is true in every aspect of life. Clients, anybody that you're working with or for or would like to work for, it's huge. You make more of an impression if you find something that you can identify with and have in common. So find that and then milk it. I'm just being serious, build up that bond. Makes them feel more at ease with you. Third, be willing to reveal a little bit of personal information about yourself. Don't be closed off. Be communicative. I'm an over-communicator, and that tends to help in an interview situation, believe it or not. It can be really annoying in relationships, I'm admitting it. But it's really important in an interview because if you hold back, they feel like you're hiding something. Be willing to express your strengths. This can come off as arrogance if it's not done correctly, but it's more important to communicate those strengths than to seem like you're lacking in confidence. So if they say, okay, what can you bring to the team? Don't be like, well, I'm a team player. So yeah, and I've done this before. No, be like, I'm dedicated, I'm driven, I'm motivated, I'm a fast learner. My friends say I'm ambitious, but I like to listen and I learn quickly. Those are things that people want to hear, and hopefully they're true of you as well when you're interviewing. Don't make stuff up. Maybe, but try to be true to it. And be willing to share your weaknesses. That can come across in a good way if you do that well. So, for instance, for my final interview today, for this job position, my now manager, asked me, what do I need to be concerned about when you're coming onto the team? Now, this is not the time to say, I have a serious anger problem, or I masturbate in public, or something cray-cray, okay? Save that for somebody else, or for never. What it is the time to say are things that maybe are weaknesses, but are also strengths. It's a little sneaky, but it's often true. So for me, as an over-communicator, I tend to over-communicate with customers to the detriment of more sales. So I establish a great customer loyalty quickly and a familiarity with me that usually gives me greater tips, but might mean that if I'm waitressing, for instance, I don't get to as many tables as I should in as quick an amount of time. And that's important to the company. So I said, I tend to talk to customers for too long. It's easy for me to talk to anybody. I can talk to a wall for an hour and the wall would feel comfortable. So I need to make sure that I'm able to move on in a gracious way. So communicate your strengths, communicate your weaknesses, make eye contact, show up in person, dress appropriately. Oh my gosh, I don't care if you're interviewing to be a stripper. Dress professionally. It makes a huge impact. Get a freaking blazer. Wear jeans if you need to, but you've probably heard this before. Dress for the job you want. Don't dress for the job you have or the job you don't have. So don't show up looking like a hobo or in a belly shirt and hooker heels, unless you want to be a hooker, and then do whatever you want. It's not my call to judge you. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. firm handshake, said that. Be willing to ask questions. When you ask questions at the end of an interview, like, what do you need from me at this point? Or how can I get a head start on learning about this position and what I need to do to be the best employee I can be? Those kind of questions give your manager confidence that you're going to try to learn. And everyone wants someone who is teachable and someone who's willing to learn. That doesn't communicate weakness, that communicates the strength that it takes to be humble and to grow. I'm trying to think of anything else. I should really write this stuff down. I should actually write a book. No, I'm just kidding. Someone else has said it better. Can't really think of anything else. Don't come off too flirty. Don't eye fuck anybody. Guys, if your future manager is hot, don't do that. Don't do that. Not cool. Save it. Maybe for the kitchen after hours if that happens. But don't push that line. Connect with the other employees. That's also really important. So if you're walking in, make a good impression by communicating to customers or employees in a gracious, familiar, comfortable way. It shows that you're confident, that you want the position, and it establishes an expectation on the part of your manager that you're going to build a good customer base, or that you're going to work well with your teammates. Obviously, this doesn't apply to every job description. So anyway, hopefully those things are helpful. That's all I can think of right now. Yeah, got my job.